Finally, we're going to get caught up to speed with the daily college football show, as we're going to talk about Sunday, January 16th, and the 5 biggest topics from yesterday. There is a lot to cover. Kyle Pitts' successor has entered the transfer portal. West Virginia's starting quarterback over the last few years has found a new school. Bear Bryant's grandson, who played quarterback at Alabama, has found a new school. A big-time 4-star recruit has committed to Michigan. And finally, a player who was supposed to be a first-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft has now moved over to the Big 12 and could become one of the best pass catchers in the country if properly utilized. I'm excited for these 5 topics. Before we get into that, we are on the road to 100K, so quickly be sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button for the algorithm, turn on post notifications, and let me know what topic I can do next. I say it in every single video, but it really does help if you guys do that. So without further ado, let's get started. If you want to keep up to date with every single video in this series, be sure to check out the playlist I've left in both the description and in the comment section. And I always do this video a day late, so anything that has happened today, let me know down in the comment section so I can react to it for tomorrow's video. Now, let's talk about our first topic, a big-time recruit who is going to Michigan. When I think of Michigan tight ends, I think of them having weird last names. It started with their All-American Jake Butt, but this year we saw both Eric All and Luke Schoonmaker. Michigan offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis says that tight end is the most important position in his offense, and it always seems they have some sort of big specimen or big guy coming in at that spot. They started out their 2023 class strong and signed a tight end with another weird name, following in the footsteps of all the other guys. His name is Andrew Rappleyea. Forgive me if I said that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, and he is a big deal both literally and figuratively. Coming out of the Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts, Rappleyea is a 4-star recruit, the number 20 tight end, and the 332nd best player in the class of 2023 so far. He's a 6'4", 200-pound tight end who had offers from multiple big-time programs. Apparently, he chose the Wolverines over Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. Those are some big names, and it looks like he wanted to play in the Big Ten. In terms of what he brings to the table, he obviously has the size and athleticism, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the offense. He did apparently visit Michigan during the Ohio State game, so I bet that left a pretty cool impact on him, and maybe he'll be the next great Michigan tight end with a weird name. Wolverines fans, what do you think? After Will Grier, it was kind of tough sledding for West Virginia. Not only did they get a new head coach in Neil Brown, but they also had to find a new quarterback. The guy they first had was Austin Kendall, but he was not very good, so he was benched in favor of Jarrett Doege. He is the brother of former Texas Tech quarterback legend Seth Doege, but he did not originally start his career at West Virginia. In fact, he wasn't even a top 1,500 recruit in the class of 2017, and originally he went to Bowling Green. After playing pretty well though, he transferred up a level to West Virginia, where he had a couple decent years there. For example, in 2020, he threw for 2,587 yards with 14 touchdowns. Because of that, he was seen as a sleeper kind of player going into 2021, but he didn't get that much better. He threw for 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 12 picks, but he was pretty much the same guy, and he knew it was time for a change of scenery. Because of that, he entered the portal and has found a new home at Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is a great place for a quarterback to go, as Bailey Zappi just broke multiple national records and is on his way to the NFL. While the Hilltoppers did lose their offensive coordinator Kit Lee to Texas Tech, Doege will likely be a starter there, and maybe, just maybe, he'll have a great final season down there in Bowling Green. I believe I've talked about this guy 3 times in the last 2 weeks, but that'll likely go up to 4 as I want to do a full feature on him. His name is Jahleel Billingsley. In the intro, I mentioned a player who could become a first-round pick who has found a new home. That is Jahleel Billingsley. Coming out of the state of Illinois, he made history as he was one of the first players from the state to go to Bama in nearly 20 years, and he had a lot of hype when he got there. I mean, he was a 4-star and he was part of the Crimson Tide team. In 2019, he caught 2 passes, but in 2020, he would start to break out after John Mechie would go down with an injury. He caught 18 passes for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he was one of those guys who looked like he was made in a video game. Because of that, going into 2021, many saw him as the best receiving prospect on this Bama team. Not Mechie, not Jamison Williams. Instead, he started out the season in Nick Saban's doghouse, and Cameron Latu took his spot. Because of that, Billingsley had a very down 2021 season, as he only had 17 receptions for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. Obviously, Latu and some of the younger guys were going to get playing time over him, and Nick Saban wasn't too thrilled with him, so he decided to enter his name into the transfer portal. Where did he decide to go? Well, he decided he would reunite with his former offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian. Year 1 at Texas didn't go great for Sark, but he has found a way to bring in high potential guys. He brought in quarterback Quinn Ewers from Ohio State, and now he has a tight end who could be the next big thing in Billingsley. Jahleel will be a Longhorn and could be a favorite target of Ewers or Hudson Card next year. He's one of those players that has all the potential in the world, and if Sark can get the most out of him, he will be a first-round pick. Stay tuned, as I want to do a full feature video on him later this week, and I'm really excited for that one. Now, on to the next topic. You could say the name Bear Bryant is a pretty big deal when it comes to Alabama football. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic here, but his great-grandson is a player by the name of Paul Tyson. You may or may not know who he is, but coming out of Hewitt-Trussville High School, Tyson was actually a 4-star quarterback in the class of 2019. In fact, he was the 12th ranked pro-style player and the 321st best prospect in the class of 2019. Tyson had plenty of options, but did he really have any options? No, he was going to go to Alabama. He chose the Crimson Tide, and since then, he's always been seen as a guy with a high ceiling, but would he actually get on the field? Probably not. Between Tua, Mac Jones, and Bryce Young, Paul Tyson always found himself as a backup, and in his entire career with Alabama, he went 10 of 16 for 150 yards without a single touchdown. Many believed he would stay with the Crimson Tide because of the fact he was a legacy, but it looks like he's going to pave his own career and put himself first as he entered the transfer portal and has found a new school. For a little while, it looked like he was going to Notre Dame, but yesterday we found out he is going to Arizona State. This is a good fit in my eyes. Jaden Daniels struggled in 2021, and while he used to be a big-time NFL draft prospect, he's just a below-average starter now, and Tyson could have the opportunity to win the coaching staff over and maybe even be the starting quarterback. Tyson is a completely different quarterback than Daniels though, and it's going to be very intriguing to watch, but I'm really excited for Tyson, and I hope he gets an opportunity to play. Kyle Pitts is not only a superstar in the NFL, but he was unbelievable at Florida. He had one of the best seasons we've ever seen for a tight end, and he was one of those guys that we're going to look back on 10 years from now and say that guy was special. Florida has produced some good tight ends over the years, but with Kyle Pitts leaving, they would have to find an immediate replacement. Who was pegged to be the next guy? Well, it was Kemore Gamble. Coming out of Miami, Florida, Gamble was a 4-star recruit and the number 7 tight end in the class of 2017. Because of his blue chip status, he had a lot of hype, but would he be able to live up to it in 2021? Let's take a look. Well, he had a decent year. He caught 31 passes for 414 yards and 4 touchdowns. Those numbers won't get you on the all-conference list or in the NFL draft, though. Either he didn't like the new hire of Billy Napier, or he wanted a fresh start. We don't know, but he decided to enter the transfer portal, where he will now go to UCF. The Knights are quietly loading up with weapons as they prepare to move into the Big 12, and while Gamble will not get to play in the Big 12, he could have a big 2022 season and maybe live up to all that hype he had coming out of high school. So yeah, in today's video we talked about the 5 biggest topics from Sunday, January 16th, and if you want to watch all the videos in this series, click the link in the description and the comment section, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.